right, folks. We are back. We've got, you may notice a different theme song going. If you're a music aficionado like myself, it's well-deserved, because I'm certainly eating a little humble pie today. This last week, I guess you can't really complain. You want it all to come down to the very last week, and that's what's happening here. I'm eating some Major Crow after saying Jeremy needs to hit the road. He certainly stepped up. And before we get into, week 13, I think we need to go to my new favorite segment, Chris's call-outs, just to make me feel a little bit better. I want to talk a little bit about beginner's luck. Or, I don't know if it's what you would really call it as beginner's luck. I was talking to Darren about this over lunch the other day, that have you ever gone to a blackjack table and the guy at the first seat, he's just making just the most ridiculous moves, screwing over, effing over everybody else at the table, but he's winning, hitting on on a 19 or something, and everything's going his way. That's what I experienced this past week, and some of you may consider this collusion, but I needed Jeremy out of the picture. I text Malachi, because I'm holding on to Pittsburgh's defense, and I said, hey man, you've got Arizona's defense going, you're playing Atlanta, they're going to get shredded. I need you to beat Jeremy, you want your bye, why don't I drop them and you pick them up real quick? Now, like I said, some of you may consider that collusion, but in my eyes, everybody can be on the waiver wire at any moment. Anybody could have picked it up. He declines. He's an idiot. And you know what happened? I was right. Arizona got shredded, minus 1.5 points for that. And then, of course, Pittsburgh absolutely destroyed Indianapolis. And lo and behold, the amount that he lost to Jeremy by was 15 points. The exact number of points that would have been made up by playing the Pittsburgh defense. So good job, Mal. Way to be the first seat at the goddamn blackjack table. That's all I have to say about that. I'm going to try to have a more positive attitude. It's nothing against you, Mal, but you know nothing about football. Fantasy football. All right, moving along. Let's talk about, before we get into week 13, let's talk about where I was right last week. Boy, oh boy, I only had 2 locks of the week last week. Pittsburgh over Indianapolis. Wow, surprise, surprise. -3, destroyed it. And then I also had the out on the limb pick, since he's dead, and Baltimore beat them by 4 points. The spread was 3. So you're welcome, betting America. Let's get into breaking down the goddamn league before I, just... Okay, let's take a look at week 13. My God. We're obviously getting it under the Thursday deadline here. Dallas in Minnesota. This is going to be a huge test for Minnesota. -2.5 for Dallas. I think they do it. Denver in Jacksonville. Oh my God, the garbage man destroyed me again last week. I fucking hate Blake Bortles. But I will say that Denver will beat the 5-point spread and hopefully step on Blake Bortles' neck. Kansas City in Atlanta. Atlanta is going to, again, torch them. Spreads -4, that's easy for them. Green Bay finally came back, got a breath of life. They are, let's see, Houston's visiting them. Oh God, Blake Bortles, dude. Or not Blake Bortles, Brock Osweiler, as I like to call him, the burglar, because he's stealing $72 million from the city of Houston. I think that obviously Green Bay's maybe got their act together, or at least that last game helped them. They'll be able to cover that 3.5. Philly in Cincy. Dude, Cincy, man, what happened from last year? I guess it can't all be AJ Green, right? But I'm going to definitely say that, wow, that's almost a pick 'em. Philly is favored. Oh, dude, this has gone back and forth. I'm going to have to say, right now, it's -1 Cincy. I'm going to say that Philly's going to go in there and beat them. Detroit, New Orleans. This is my first lock of the week. New Orleans is going to trounce Detroit. -4. It's in New Orleans. They obviously absolutely marauded the Rams. Although, first half, Jared Goff looked okay. I guess I'm the loser because I'm wearing the Rams shirt, but anyway, moving right along. San Fran in Chicago, -3. Is Colin Kaepernick a viable start? I guess he is. I used him 1 week and won, so I guess if I can, anybody can, because I can't goddamn win! Anyway. San Francisco in Chicago. I'm going to say Chicago's favored by 3. Jay Cutler is having season-ending. He's on the IR. The Bears are done. I think San Francisco is going to win that game, dude. LA in New England. This is going to be a goddamn bloodbath. The largest spread of the week, 13.5. I guess it's 13 now. I'm not even going to talk about that game. Miami in Baltimore. Baltimore, dude, both of these teams are on the comeuppance. And I'm going to say, what's the spread here? -3.5. I'd like to see Tannehill and his hot wife travel to Baltimore and get it done, but I don't think it's going to happen. Kenneth Dixon, equal split carries with Terrence West this past week. I think that's just going to be too much for them to handle. Tampa Bay in San Diego. The Bolo. Dude, these are two high-powered offenses going off right now. Mike Evans, sneaky pick, which we'll talk about later, Dontrell Inman. He had a great game last week. Thank you, Antonio Gates. Were you on the gut? Were you in the city that the game was being played? I don't think so. 0 targets, 0 points. I really need to calm down this week. But anyway, I think San Diego's going to win. I think Tampa Bay is kind of the paper team of the NFL. Washington in Arizona. This is my other lock of the week. Let's see. Arizona is favored by 2.5. How that's possible, I don't know. I know Washington's traveling, but they've got too many weapons. They got G-Jacks. They got, they don't have Jordan Reed. If you don't have Vernon Davis, you better pick him up. Anyway, so that I'm saying that I'm sticking with my lock of the week. Giants in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored by 6. That is going to be a close one. I'm going to say Giants are going to go in there and actually at least cover the spread. Carolina in Seattle. Seattle, thanks for that 5-point score last week. Wow, haven't seen that one in a while. Carolina is desperate, but I think they're too far gone. However, I do think that they'll cover the spread. Oh, man, but they're in Seattle. They got that 12th man. Okay, Seattle will cover them by a touchdown. Indianapolis in New York, the other New York. Indy by 2.5. I think they get Luck back. Moncrief, you got T.Y. Hilton back. So I'm going to say they're going to be able to cover that. So that is your week in review. Let's talk about, and you got my locks of the week. That's New Orleans over to Detroit -4. Washington over Arizona. Arizona's favored by 2, but not going to be a problem for my boy. What did he say to the? He like gave the general manager a fucking noogie and said, "How do you like me now?" But let's get to more important stuff and talk about our league. Time to whip it around the old Tasty Seed. Okay, before we get into that, I do need to address the elephant in the room, and that is I was renamed. I think there was one other renaming, but I was called the Tranny Hunters. You can message me if you want to know the full backstory of that. We're running out of time. But the one good thing that did come out of this week, playing against the Blackjack Beginner, aka Malachi Manning, is that he lost his first week bye. So, karma, brother. Anyway, we got the Worcester Woodcocks and the CT Wizards right now projected to have a bye. And then we've got Winters coming versus Grandma's Cream Pie. That's the first week matchup. I like that matchup. And then the jumbo package, the paper team, versus the Simi Valley Stepmoms, who unfortunately are for real. Although he does, I can't even, I'm so angry about that. But anyway, jumbo package, Simi Valley Stepmoms, that's what's supposed to happen. But this week is crazy, dude. We've got, here's the folks that are still in it. We've got the CB Training Hunters, formerly known as the Sherman Oaks Jar Squatters, the LA Jewish Elephants, Jumbo Package, Winter is coming. I mean, all these guys are still in the hunt. Comes down to the last goddamn weekend. I guess we really we should be happy about it. But that's what's going on in our league, and that is the official whip around. Now let's talk about some sad news. if I do not make it in the playoffs, I'm thinking about maybe discontinuing the Tasty Seed show. We'll see what happens. But in lieu of that, we do have to go back to everybody's favorite segment, and that is Styling and Profiling. Okay, so because this may be the last show of the season, we gotta hit up everybody's favorite team. I mean, I know you all love your own team, but collectively, we're all Jar Squatter fans for life, and we know that. But let's run it down, and now they're called the CB Tranny Hunters. Let's take a look at the team. Matt Ryan, can't complain. Todd Gurley, what a disappointment this year. Don't love it. I've got James Starks in the 2-hole right now, but that could be Robert Kelly before Fat Rob before the week is done. Let me see, do I have any Thursday night games that I need to pay attention to? I did pick up AP, so some style points for that. If I do make it into the playoffs and I get to use him like the last week, that would be amazing. I've got Dante Moncrief, an amazing waiver wire pickup. Julio Jones, boy, he's been like the D-Jacks of this year. Sammy Watkins actually had a pretty damn good game last week. Another amazing waiver wire pickup. The reason I had to do this is because I lost CJ Anderson. I lost somebody else too, I can't remember. Well, it would have been nice to still have LaShawn McCoy on my goddamn team. Antonio Gates. Woo! He's been hot and cold, but he's trying to break that tight end touchdown record, so I thought he would be something special this year. And he has been a couple weeks. I've got the Bears D going against San Francisco this week, but I could also... I'm thinking about making a change there too. And then I got Cairo Santos. Here's the big boy that I lost. Alshon Jeffrey, Isaiah Crowell in that perfectly... Thank you, NFL, for the Week 13 bye. Who the fuck needs that? I got Fat Rob, like I told you. I got the Bills. I have Taylor Gabriel on the bench, where he was last week after that 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So thank you for that. And then, of course, the aforementioned Adrian Peterson. And I'm going to be totally frank here. No, I'm going to be totally Chris. I'm giving myself an A+. That's the official score of the Styling and Profiling. The Jar Squatters, the Sherman Oaks Jar Squatters, get an A+ for their team. And if you have a problem with that, you can have your own goddamn Tasty Seed show. Finally, I can't let you leave without giving you a little bit of an early Christmas present. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. But right now, it's time for...
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle-belling and everyone telling you be a good cheer.
So I actually have some scraps of love off of the old trash pile, the trash heap this week. 2 guys you might want to look at, and they are both wide receivers. Anquan Boldin, dude, think about it. I love this guy. He's just... He's just a tough dude, man. Last week he had close to 14 points. And then the other guy, this is more of like, I got balls, I'm already in the playoffs, and I just want to beat you with some style points. And that is my boy, Dontrell Inman. He did have a 20-point week last week. Still available on the waiver wire, so is Anquan, obviously. But go pick up these guys if you need a hole to fill. I got a hole for you to fill, my fucking... Oh, man. Anyway, well, all of this has been all in fun. I hope you guys had a wonderful season. Good luck on that final playoff push, and I guess we will maybe see you on the waiver wire. Say